The arrival of the Deathworlder. In the heart of the Galactic Federation Academy, Captain Zix Narth stood before his class, a vibrant mix of alien cadets from various worlds. His gelatinous form shimmered under the fluorescent lights, tentacles twitching with excitement. Today was not just another day. It was a day that promised to be extraordinary. "Today, my young cadets," he burbled, his voice echoing through the classroom, "we will witness a demonstration of combat technology unlike anything you have ever seen." The room buzzed with anticipation as the cadets chattered amongst themselves, their colors shifting in excitement. Some even changed hues, a sign of their eagerness that was akin to cheering in human terms. Zix Narth couldn't help but feel a swell of pride. These bright-eyed students were the future defenders of their galaxy. "Now, let me introduce our special guest," Zix continued, gesturing dramatically towards the door. "Please welcome Glickmar, 7-time champion of the Andromeda Annihilation Arena." With a hiss and a whir, the door slid open to reveal Glickmar, a towering figure clad in shimmering armor that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Each step he took left small craters in the reinforced floor, a testament to his immense weight and power. "Greetings, insignificant life forms," Glickmar's synthesized voice boomed, sending shivers down spines. "Prepare to witness the pinnacle of destructive capability." The class collectively gasped at his presence. Zix Narth watched with satisfaction as his students leaned forward in their seats, eyes wide with wonder. Just then, a small voice piped up from the back of the room. "Excuse me, Professor." It was Bloop Blor, a tiny blob-like creature whose pseudopod waved anxiously in the air. "Yes, Bloop Blor," Zix replied, slightly irritated at being interrupted. "Isn't there supposed to be a human in this class? I heard we were getting a transfer student from Earth." Zix Narth's eye stalks twitched at the mention of humanity. "Ah yes," he said slowly, "the Deathworlder." He grimaced slightly. Humans had a reputation for being unpredictable and often reckless. As if on cue, the door swung open again. This time, all eyes turned towards it in unison. A figure sauntered in, disheveled hair bouncing wildly in clothes that looked like they had survived a 3-day bender. "Sorry I'm late, Teach," exclaimed Jessica Martinez, her voice casual and unapologetic. "Got caught up debating whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Spoiler alert. It totally does." Zix Narth felt his irritation rise, but quickly suppressed it. "Please take your seat, Earthling," he said sternly. "We're about to begin a demonstration of real combat technology." Jessica plopped down into an empty seat at the front and propped her feet up on her desk. "Cool, cool. Let me guess. Big shiny robot dude over there is going to show us how to vaporize planets or something." Glickmar's helmet swiveled toward her, energy crackling ominously around him. "I am not a robot dude. I am the pinnacle of combat evolution capable of." Yeah, Jessica interrupted with an exaggerated yawn, waving her hand dismissively. "Wake me up when you can do something actually impressive, like shotgunning a beer or spelling your name backward." A stunned silence fell over the classroom as even Zix Narth struggled to find words for reprimand. But Glickmar was not amused. His systems whirred ominously as he prepared for combat protocols. The arrival of the Deathworlder. In the heart of the Galactic Federation Academy, Captain Zix Narth stood before his class, a vibrant mix of alien cadets from various worlds. His gelatinous form shimmered under the fluorescent lights, tentacles twitching with excitement. Today was not just another day. It was a day that promised to be extraordinary. "Today, my young cadets," he burbled, his voice echoing through the classroom, "we will witness a demonstration of combat technology unlike anything you have ever seen." The room buzzed with anticipation as the cadets chattered amongst themselves, their colors shifting in excitement. Some even changed hues, a sign of their eagerness that was akin to cheering in human terms. Zix Narth couldn't help but feel a swell of pride. These bright-eyed students were the future defenders of their galaxy. "Now, let me introduce our special guest," Zix continued, gesturing dramatically towards the door. Please welcome Glickmar, 7-time champion of the Andromeda Annihilation Arena. With a hiss and a whir, the door slid open to reveal Glickmar, towering figure clad in shimmering armor that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Each step he took left small craters in the reinforced floor, testament to his immense weight and power. Greetings, insignificant life forms. Glickmar's synthesized voice boomed, sending shivers down spines. Prepare to witness the pinnacle of destructive capability. Jessica plopped down into an empty seat at the front and propped her feet up on her desk. Cool. Let me guess. Big shiny robot dude over there is going to show us how to vaporize planets or something. Glickmar's helmet swiveled toward her, energy crackling ominously around him. I am not a robot dude. I am the pinnacle of combat evolution capable of. Yeah, Jessica interrupted with an exaggerated yawn, waving her hand dismissively. Wake me up when you can do something actually impressive, like shotgunning a beer or spelling your name backward. A stunned silence fell over the classroom as even Zix Narth struggled to find words for reprimand. But Glickmar was not amused. His systems whirred ominously as he prepared for combat protocols. Perhaps a practical demonstration is in order, he declared coldly. I require a volunteer. You primate. Front and center. Jessica raised an eyebrow, but stood up nonetheless. You sure about that, Tin Man? I don't want to embarrass you in front of all your adoring fans. The class watched in horrified fascination as she approached Glickmar, cracking her knuckles with an air of confidence that belied her small stature compared to him. Combat protocols engaged, Glickmar announced ominously as energy fields pulsed around him. Prepare for termination. Insignificant life form, he added with menace. Jessica smirked as she took her stance at an unexpected angle. Bring it on. Just don't cry when I hand you your shiny metal ass. What followed was chaos. Clash that would echo through history as one of the most extraordinary battles ever witnessed within these walls. As they squared off against each other, Zix Narth felt both dread and excitement bubbling within him. This was not just about advanced technology versus primitive tactics. It was about strategy, creativity, and sheer willpower. The cadets leaned forward in their seats, hearts racing as they prepared to witness an unprecedented showdown between modern alien tech and ancient human combat tactics, a battle that would challenge everything they thought they knew about warfare in this vast universe. The stage was set for an epic confrontation that would redefine what it meant to fight, not just for victory but for survival against all odds. The demonstration begins. The atmosphere in the Galactic Federation Academy's auditorium buzzed with tension as cadets from various species settled into their seats. Captain Zix Narth stood at the front, his gelatinous form shimmering under the bright lights, eyes fixed on the combatants about to face off. Cadets, he announced, his voice echoing with authority. Today you will witness a demonstration that will challenge your understanding of combat. Prepare yourselves for an extraordinary display. As he spoke, Glickmar powered up his combat suit, energy fields crackling around him like a storm contained within metal. The cadets leaned forward, eager to see what this advanced technology could do. Jessica Martinez stood at the opposite end of the arena, her posture relaxed but her eyes sharp. She had faced challenges before. This was just another day for her. She had trained on Earth, where survival depended on quick thinking and adaptability. Let's see what you've got, Shiny, she called out, a confident grin spreading across her face. Glickmar's helmet turned towards her, his voice booming through the auditorium. Prepare yourself for annihilation. You will not survive this encounter. Jessica chuckled lightly, unfazed by his threat. You might want to rethink that, Tin Can. With a sudden burst of energy, Glickmar lunged forward, his suit enhancing his speed and strength. He swung a massive metallic fist toward Jessica, who sidestepped with surprising agility. The crowd gasped as she evaded the blow effortlessly. Glickmar stumbled slightly from the momentum but quickly regained his balance, pivoting to launch another strike. Impressive reflexes for a primitive, he snarled, frustration creeping into his voice. Thanks. I've had a lot of practice dodging egos like yours, she shot back, darting in closer now. The audience was captivated as Jessica closed the distance between them. She ducked under another swing from Glickmar and retaliated with a swift kick aimed at his knee joint, the weak point in any armor. To everyone's shock, her foot connected with a resounding thud that echoed through the auditorium. Glickmar staggered back but quickly adjusted his stance, recalibrating his suit's defenses. Your primitive tactics are no match for my advanced technology, he declared defiantly. Jessica didn't respond verbally. Instead, she focused on her movements. She knew that brute strength wouldn't win this battle. It was all about strategy and timing. As Glickmar charged again, she feigned left but rolled right at the last moment. The crowd erupted in cheers and gasps as she executed a flawless maneuver that left Glickmar swinging at nothing but air once more. Come on, is that all you've got? She taunted, adrenaline coursing through her veins. Glickmar's frustration mounted. He activated additional weapon systems within his suit. Lasers began charging up along his arms. You will regret underestimating me, he shouted as beams of energy shot toward her. But Jessica was ready. She had seen this coming. With quick reflexes honed from years of training in Earth's unpredictable environments, she dove behind an array of training equipment set up around the arena. The lasers scorched through the air where she had been standing just moments before, leaving smoldering marks on the ground behind her. Nice try, she yelled from behind cover. But you're going to need more than flashy lights to take me down. Glickmar growled in annoyance but quickly recalibrated his approach. He began using his suit's sensors to track her movements rather than relying solely on brute force attacks. As he advanced cautiously toward her position, Jessica peeked out from behind cover and spotted an opportunity. Overhead beam that looked sturdy enough to hold her weight. With one fluid motion, she leaped onto it and began climbing higher into the structure above them. The audience gasped again. They hadn't expected such agility from someone they considered merely a human. A Deathworlder, yes, but still human nonetheless. Where are you going? Glickmar shouted up at her, clearly irritated by her evasive tactics. Just getting some perspective, she called back down cheekily as she reached a vantage point above him. From this height, Jessica could see everything, the layout of the arena, and how Glickmar moved beneath her like a predator searching for prey. She took a deep breath and prepared herself for what was next. As Glickmar scanned for her location below him, she decided it was time to strike back hard. Channeling all her energy into one powerful leap, she launched herself off the beam toward him like a comet falling from the sky. The audience held its breath as time seemed to slow down around her. They were witnessing something incredible, a human defying expectations against an alien champion armed with cutting-edge technology. Jessica landed squarely on Glickmar's shoulders with surprising force. Her weight combined with gravity sent him crashing down onto one knee while she maintained balance atop him like an acrobat in performance. What? No, get off me! He roared in disbelief as he struggled to regain control over his body, while trying to shake her off like an unwanted insect. Think I'll stay right here, Jessica replied playfully before launching herself off him again, this time flipping backward into a roll that brought her back onto solid ground without missing a beat. The crowd erupted into applause. They were witnessing not just a fight, but an exhilarating display of skill and ingenuity that transcended species barriers. Glickmar finally managed to regain his footing. Humiliation burned within him as he glared at this audacious human who had dared challenge him so boldly. I will not be defeated by you, he bellowed angrily while activating more weapon systems within his suit, this time aiming directly at Jessica. But instead of fear or retreating back behind cover again like before, she stood tall facing him head-on. Let's see what you really got, she challenged defiantly. And thus began another round, the battle escalating further beyond anyone's wildest imagination. As they clashed again amidst cheers from their fellow cadets, modern alien tech meeting ancient human tactics, it became clear that this fight would be remembered long after its conclusion. The final showdown. As the clash between Jessica and Glickmar intensified, the atmosphere in the Galactic Federation Academy's arena crackled with tension. The cadets, a mix of various alien species, watched with rapt attention, their eyes darting between the two combatants. This was not just a fight. It was a spectacle that would be etched in their memories forever. The stakes are raised. Glickmar, fueled by frustration and anger, activated his suit's advanced weaponry. Energy beams crackled around him, illuminating the arena in a dazzling display of light. "You will regret your insolence, human," he roared, his voice booming through the auditorium. Jessica, however, remained unfazed. She had faced tougher challenges on Earth, battles that required more than just physical strength. It was about strategy and heart. "Bring it on, Tin Can." "I've dealt with worse than you," she shouted back, her confidence unwavering. As Glickmar unleashed a barrage of energy blasts toward her, Jessica deftly dodged each one with agility that surprised even her. She weaved through the chaos, using her surroundings to her advantage. Her training had taught her to think on her feet, to adapt and overcome. Moment of reflection. In the midst of the battle, Jessica took a brief moment to reflect on her journey. She had come from a world where survival often depended on wit and resourcefulness. Earth was a place of harsh realities, where every day was a test of endurance and ingenuity. She remembered her childhood, where she had learned to navigate challenges that seemed insurmountable. Just like dodging bullies back home, she muttered to herself as she narrowly avoided another blast from Glickmar's weaponry. The cadets watched in awe as Jessica's movements became more fluid and instinctual. She wasn't just fighting, she was dancing around Glickmar's attacks, turning his own strength against him. Turning the tide. With a sudden burst of inspiration, Jessica spotted an opportunity. Glickmar had overextended himself during one of his attacks. Seizing the moment, she charged forward and executed a swift kick aimed at his knee joint, the same tactic she had used earlier in their sparring match. The impact was staggering. Glickmar stumbled backward, momentarily losing his balance. The audience erupted into cheers as they witnessed this unexpected turn of events. Jessica could feel the adrenaline surging through her veins as she pressed her advantage. "Now we're talking," she yelled triumphantly. Glickmar gritted his teeth in frustration as he struggled to regain control. "This is merely a setback," he bellowed defiantly. "You will not defeat me." But Jessica was relentless. She knew that this was her chance to prove herself, not just to Glickmar but to everyone watching. She launched into a series of rapid strikes, each one landing with precision as she targeted weak points in his armor. The final gambit. As the battle raged on, both combatants began to tire. Glickmar's suit was designed for power, but lacked the stamina needed for prolonged combat without recharge breaks. Meanwhile, Jessica's endurance from years of training on Earth gave her an edge. In a moment of desperation, Glickmar activated his suit's ultimate weapon, devastating energy pulse that could obliterate anything in its path. The arena shook as he prepared to unleash it. "Prepare for annihilation," he shouted, gathering energy into his hands. Jessica knew she had only moments to act. Drawing upon every ounce of strength and creativity she possessed, she devised a plan. "I won't let you take me down that easily," she shouted defiantly. With a burst of speed, she darted toward Glickmar just as he released the energy pulse. Timing was everything. She needed to get close enough to disrupt his focus. The climax. As the energy pulse surged forward like a tidal wave, Jessica leaped into action. In one fluid motion, she dove beneath Glickmar's arm and used all her weight to push against him while simultaneously redirecting his aim away from herself. The energy pulse exploded against the arena wall, instead, sending shockwaves throughout the auditorium and leaving everyone stunned by the sheer force of it. Glickmar staggered from the backlash while Jessica seized the moment to land a powerful blow directly to his chest plate, the impact reverberating through both their bodies. "Game over," she declared triumphantly as Glickmar fell backward onto the ground with a resounding thud. Aftermath and reflection. The arena erupted into cheers as cadets jumped from their seats in excitement. Jessica stood over Glickmar, breathing heavily, but filled with exhilaration at having overcome such an imposing opponent. Captain Zix Narth stepped forward from the sidelines, his gelatinous form quivering with pride and disbelief. "Incredible. You have shown us all what true combat is about. Ingenuity and resilience." Glickmar lay on the ground, panting heavily, but unwilling to accept defeat entirely. "This is not over," he growled weakly, but with determination still burning in his eyes. Jessica extended her hand toward him in an unexpected gesture of camaraderie. "Maybe next time we can work together instead of against each other." Glickmar paused before accepting her hand, his grip firm yet respectful as he pulled himself up from the ground. "Perhaps there is more to you than I initially thought. A new beginning." As they stood side by side before their classmates, one representing ancient tactics and the other modern technology, a new understanding began to form between them. The cadets cheered wildly for both combatants as they realized that this battle was not just about winning or losing. It was about learning from one another and growing stronger together. Jessica smiled at Glickmar, feeling an unexpected bond forming between them. A connection forged through mutual respect born from conflict. "Let's show them what we can do together," she suggested enthusiastically. And so began a new chapter for both Jessica Martinez and Glickmar, the partnership that would challenge perceptions across galaxies and redefine what it meant to be warriors in an ever-evolving universe filled with endless possibilities for collaboration and growth. As they walked off together amidst cheers from their fellow cadets, two unlikely allies united by combat, they knew that this was only the beginning of their journey together in exploring not just combat, but friendship across worlds.